Hey loves, this is just a quick one. I thought I was going to sneeze then. This is just a quick one. So, what I wanted to speak to is staying magnetic by coming from a full cup. So, often the reason we decrease our magnetism is because we're coming from an empty cup. We're coming to the guy, we're approaching the relationship from this place of lack. And that's usually because we're seeking something from the relationship, from the guy, as a way to make us feel safe, worthy, or confident. And on some level, the guy will always perceive this. Okay? If you're coming from an empty cup, he will perceive it in some way. And the way this often shows up is that we tend to be quite emotionally penetrative with the guy. So we're very forward, we're leaning in a lot, we're instigating conversation, we're taking action, we're making the plan, we're kind of doing his job for him, because the intrinsic part of the masculine likes to be the pursuer, likes to lean into the feminine. And if you're a feminine woman who likes to attract masculine energy men, then you want to be in the receiving mode. And often, if we're coming from an empty cup, we really struggle to be in the receiving mode because we have this fear that if I lean back and I just trust that he's going to show up, then maybe the relationship will fall apart. Maybe he'll think I don't care, or maybe I won't hear from him. So, because we want that sense of safety and reassurance, we end up leaning in from this very controlling, pushy place because we don't trust. We don't trust in how lovable we are. We don't trust in how desirable we are. So we end up trying to prove ourselves and do all the work as a way to uphold the relationship. And so often the guy will either pull back or become distant in some way, or it will create a lot of conflict in the relationship at some point. So create space so he can lean in, and you can't create this space if you're always the one coming towards him, or you tend to give everything of yourself really early on in the relationship because you get quite lost in the fantasy, and very early on you're like, right, I need this to be a relationship, I need to speak to him every day. And he feels this, and it feels threatening to his sense of freedom. On some level, what he learns is, oh, this woman's happiness is dependent on me, on this relationship, or this woman needs so much from me in order to feel safe. And it feels threatening. It feels threatening to his sense of freedom. He doesn't feel this space to lean in and pursue you from this place of like freedom or like willingness. It becomes very obligatory, and there's a lot of pressure and guilt in the connection. And these kind of relationships tend to implode quite quickly, or they become very codependent quite soon. And then they just feed our trauma because we're then having these expectations and this certain level of time and attention from the guy in order to feel safe. So we lose our sense of self. We lose our sense of self in the relationship. We become very attached to needing certain things from the guy in order to function and feel good. If I'm speaking to you, if you relate to this on some level, and you want to know more, and this is something that you'd really love to work through, if you're a woman who really wants to access her feminine power so that you can show up in a relationship from a place of confidence, worthiness, and trust, so that the men that you meet, the men around you, feel nourished by your presence. They feel like they can be themselves. They don't feel that the relationship is this pressure or heaviness. They actually feel really free by being with you. So if that's something that you would like to lean into, then my course, Feminine Magnetism, How to Attract and Keep Him, will be perfect for you. That starts on the 30th of July. I will put the link somewhere so you can check that out. If you have any questions, do let me know. It's £111 or $150 US, and it's a 6-week course. And you'll have unlimited lifetime access to the course as well. So please do let me know if you have any comments, any questions, just write below this video. And thanks for tuning in. Mwah.